Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Proximal Development. So we're going to continue our work in this episode on the Gundam TR-6 Hazel II. We're still scribing. I know it's taking a long time, but that is the nature of scribing. It always takes up more than half of the entire build process. So in the previous episodes, I scribed the composite shield boosters, the weaponry, the shield and the rifle. And in this episode, I'm going to show you the work that I did on the head, the chest, and the arms, as well as the backpack. And in the next episode, we'll do the lower body, waist, and legs. And then we get to move on to painting. If you're new, I am using this channel to do full build processes. So my entire method for customizing my kits is laid out. If you're interested in seeing the work I've already done, I've completed one full kit. It's the Armored Core. I'll link it above. So I've done a pre-work showcase for this kit. You can check that one out as well to get a feel for what to expect. So this is the kit that we're working on. Yeah, and if you're new and you want to see the rest of this content, make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss the future episodes. Now, I know in the pre-work showcase video, I said that I would have this done by mid-September. It's not looking like that. I've really scaled back on the amount of work that I'm doing per week. I thought that it would take maybe a month to finish this kit if I was working 40 hours a week, but I'm definitely not doing that. So I've been working roughly 2 hours a day, a little bit less on this kit. Sorry it took so long to get out. I've really been I've been busy with some stuff. So, all right, let's get to it. See you on the other side. Okay, you guys, so I've tried out some new video editing techniques for this video. Let me know what you think of them. Did some speed ramps. Not a lot of display of the techniques that I use since I've already shown you guys a lot of that in the previous videos. So here, what I'm really going to be doing is showing you before and after, essentially, with a bunch of extremely sped up work, as you'll see here. The goal of this approach to the video format is more to give you an idea of not so much the process, but I don't know. What I'm really doing is I'm taking these ideas from Ravi Pla and Payco. They show you before and after video, essentially. They sometimes use screenshots too. Oh yeah, that one turned out a little bit rough, but that's okay. After the sanding, the lines here will see how they're raised on the edges. It's because I tried to use Payco's technique. Tried to use a hobby knife to start the lines because there's not enough surface area for guiding tape. So they turned out rough. I'm always trying to get context. So you'll see me multiple times in this video put the pieces back together and then take them back apart. Ta-da! Yeah, the lines on that piece were rough as well. Something about the plastic was a bit, I don't know how to describe it, tough, chunky.
Sometimes some plastic is harder to work with. There we go, there's a good example of the speed up. Start at the beginning and then show you the end, like a drawing that I had, the end idea. Cutting out all of the techniques in between. I'm always doing the same thing. A lot of guiding tape, light pressure, 12 cuts for the 0.2, 10 for the 0.12, 5, and 18 for the 0.4. I guess the reason why I'm choosing this format is to show you that, yeah, you know, what you see in the end is not just there from the beginning, right? There's a whole bunch of iterations that we all have to go through as we're designing our kits. A lot of drawing, a lot of erasing, a lot of testing out. The designs on this backpack here are really interesting. I didn't have to do a lot of drawing for these ones. They sort of, I was warmed up by then, so they just arrived. And I liked them right away, so I stuck with them. Except for that part right there that I'm redrawing right now. Slight alteration to that. For pretty much everything here, I'm using the 0.2. Except for the notches. The notches will usually be at 0.4. Yeah, again, sorry it took me so long to get this video out. I've been distracted by Final Fantasy XIV. I don't know if any of you are MMO gamers, but that's a game that's pretty near and dear to my heart, so some new content came out and I've been grinding that content pretty hard. A lot of my energy and focus has been there. But I'm still plugging away at these videos in this kit. I'm probably going to be behind schedule. I think I said I was going to be finished around September 15th. And that was if I was working 40-hour weeks. In truth, I've only been working about maybe 10-hour weeks. So I cut way back after my first kit. And I'm just, I'm taking a much slower pace, much more relaxed pace. And I'm actually way ahead of where I thought I'd be. If I was still working 40 hours a week, I think I would have been done with this like a couple weeks ago. Which is crazy. Like, that's the difference between a high grade and one of the Kotobukiya 1/72 Armored Core kits. The Armored Core kit took me 400 hours. So 2.5 months of 40-hour weeks. This one, if I was working 40-hour weeks, yeah, would have been like maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Ooh, yeah. I love how this is coming together. The complexity, the detail. There's a lot of it. And that's my style. I like it. I might not make any claims to style, actually. I'm still a beginner. Gotta get my fundamentals right first. But the noisiness does appeal to me. There's gotta be a different word for that, though, instead of noisiness. Yeah, just complexity of design. It kind of sucks having that preference, though, because there's always like an extra line or two, or an extra like angle in a straight line that I can add to make it more interesting to me. But then that requires per session like a couple half hour to hour of work. It adds up a lot. So it's always striking a balance between like efficiency and preference. Gotta kill your darlings. It's like good fiction writing. Can't keep everything you like. Gotta trim the fat where you can. Yeah, at this point all that's left is to copy everything over to the other side. And it goes much faster now. Takes about half as long. And all I do is I eyeball stuff. Sometimes I'll break out that ruler that you can see there. Measure things just to make sure I got the distance from certain edges correct, or the length of some lines. Whoops. Yeah. The risks of not using tape. But that's okay. Luckily we have our putty. We can erase any mistakes we make. Yeah, and then after this, I still have to do the... Like I said earlier, I still have to do the legs and the waist. And that'll be it. That'll be episode 4, part 4. That'll be end of scribing for this kit. We'll move on to sanding, priming, and then coloring it up. And we're pretty much past the halfway point for this kit. A little bit past it. We have maybe 3 to 4 more episodes left before this kit is finished and I have the showcase video. So I'm excited to show you guys how it turns out. Even I don't know what it's going to look like quite yet. I'm really looking forward to working on the legs too. There's a lot of real estate there to scribe on. This backpack part was a real joy to work on. The plastic's good quality, easy to scribe, unlike that first horseshoe piece that I showed you guys. Yeah, the plastic here is much more consistent, softer. Yep. Only the hatch is left, and then we'll move on to the head and the chest. The composite shield boosters really turned out well. I still could have added more detail, but I'm glad I didn't, because then we would have an extra episode of this. And I get the feeling, well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired of scribing now. That's why my first kit, I broke the whole build down limb by limb. So I wasn't like doing a bunch of scribing and then a bunch of painting. I was doing scribing, painting, sanding, finished. Next limb. Scribing, painting, sanding, finished. Stuff like that. It really freshened it up, kept things interesting. The thing about going limb by limb though like that is sometimes the paint color consistency is difficult to match. So doing all the painting in one go with one paint mixture will produce the most consistent results. There is some inconsistency on the Alicia that I finished. Okay. Yep, here I'll show you some of the iterations, some of the drawings that I had in mind. Sometimes when I'm trying to draw designs, I can't think of anything. I can't see anything on the blank space. So what I do is I literally draw random squiggles just to get things going. You know, I just do a really crappy job because sometimes all you have to do is do something. And that'll get things going. And one of the great things about doing those random squiggles and then erasing them is that they'll leave behind marks, and then from there you can see stuff from the marks that are left behind. So if you ever come up with like drawing block, try that. See how it works for you. That notch on the top of the hand there, that's 0.4. Everything else is looks like it's 0.2. No, it might be the 125. Yeah, it looks like it's the 125. The length of the blade is shorter. Yep, now I move on to the whatever you call those. They're like pauldrons, but not really. They're not on the outside of the shoulder, than the inside. Collar. This piece I spent a good hour on, trying to come up with something. At the tip, you can see that I filled it in with the mechanical pencil. What that means is that I'm gonna end up snipping off that bit. And I'm trying to take a page out of Peiko again, trying to sharpen the piece, right? Because the tip there is a bit rounded, as you can see, and I want it to be pointy, dangerous. Now what I'm going to do is I'm scribing really hard to carve out that plastic so I can just break the piece off. There we go. Then I putty it and I clean up that edge right there. It's all neat and ready for sanding. Copy it over to the other side. I do not do the same design on the inside of the collars. Just do it on the outside. Not much of the surface area on the inside shows up, so left it blank. Save myself some time as well. It's always like a gift and a curse to have two pieces that you need to scribe, mirror pieces. First one you have to do the original, second one you have to copy. Because at the same time it's like boring because you have to do it over again. Here we go, I'm clipping that off. There we go, see now it's nice and sharp. Do it to the other side. But as I was saying, it's always nice to have a second chance to get the design a bit neater on the other side. Yeah, this chest piece is so small. Such a pain in the butt to work on. But the designs that I chose ended up looking really nice. Ah, this is something new. Oh yeah, I almost cut myself there. Be careful, guys. Wear thicker gloves. But here what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create a ramp. Right, an incline. Instead of that square edge right there. Yeah, again, more sharpening. There we go. My first time trying this, so it's rough, but it's a good experiment. And I got the color grading wrong in this shot. The grays are very purplish blue. Oh well, get that next time. There we go. In hindsight, I really like this design that I'm drawing here. But that is very difficult to scribe. Trying to place tape on that small of a surface area on the edge is it's pretty close to impossible, so the lines will end up looking sloppy. I'll have to work on my technique for that, the freehand technique. So I end up simplifying it later, just to save the quality at the expense of design. Don't worry, I putty up that later. This piece is probably one of my favorite to work on. This earpiece right here. The design was just like, it came fast, and I was like, ooh, yeah, that's it. All I did was I worked with that, the edge on that angle there that I'm drawing right now. Continued the line from the front piece, brought it in, copied it over, both sides. And it's cool because now I can add some like interesting off color separation, because that's a piece that separates the back of the earpiece from the front. But now I have like two separate pieces, 3 actually. So I have more freedom now with the color separation when we paint. I thought about actually clipping this part off, this little triangle that I'm cutting on the top of the head. Thought I might cut it off, but decided against it. Now I am taking the safety nubs off of the V-fin, sharpening this piece up. Yeah, there we go.
Alright guys, you've made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. The view duration is really important for the YouTube algorithms, so I do appreciate you engaging with the video and going through to the end. If you haven't already, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Engage with the video as much as you can. But don't try to force it if you don't have anything to say. Don't worry about that. I'll keep making these videos, and hopefully something eventually will pique your interest or engage you in a way that it hasn't before. So, again, thank you for making it to the end, and I will see you in the next video. Next video, we will scribe the lower body, so the legs down here, and the waist drum part of the kit. And after that, we're done with scribing. Episode 4, Part 4, we get to move on to new content. We're going to make it to decaling, panel lining, masking, a lot of airbrushing, stuff you haven't seen on the channel before, so look forward to that, okay? Alright, I'll see you next time. Take care.